A very, very good afternoon, people of the internet. For those who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Kunguru87, and I'll just like to address another issue about a certain podcast that I saw the other day. And the first question I asked many individuals is that have you guys ever taken someone to hospital to seek medication only for them to come out of that particular hospital in a body bag? Food for thought. So in this 10-minute video, I'll just discuss briefly about the comments that I was seeing in this particular video. I won't mention their name for their own purposes, but I'll let you do the research. It was about this upcoming issue that's on the rise, and it's about the maternal mortality rates. Maternal mortality rate. What does maternal mortality rate mean? It means the number of women who pass away while giving birth or after giving birth. Statistically, according to the United Nations graph for rate, they calculate it upon 100,000 women in a year. Apparently, Kenya, it has hit the roof, giving an average of 2 women dying every single day. An average, because in totality it's around 700 to 800 women out of 100,000 women who give birth every single year. So let me just try and do that math to see if it's making sense. So yeah, it's giving an average of 2 women every single day. That number is too high. Meaning, if 10 mothers are giving birth today, 2 of them are bound to die. That statistic is very bad. It's very high. With the current technology, with the current medication, with the current enhance in education, that number is very high. So let me just give you a quick one. What causes individuals to pass away or to die in a particular hospital? This is just general knowledge. 1, if the personnel or the staff in that particular maternity ward wing are not well educated. 2, if they are being underpaid, meaning they work with feelings. 3, because they are being underpaid, they are overstaffed. They're not well staffed, meaning there are few of them, because you can't go to work somewhere where you're being underpaid. 4, lack of proper facilities. 5, lack of knowledge of what medicine to give or what medicine to administer. Those are just the basic one. So upon this video I was just watching, then now I just went to the comments, because it's a habit nowadays. People run to the comment section. Some people are blaming the person who was actually conducting the interview. Some people are blaming the person who was actually sharing this information. I believe they never did their homework very well. Personally, I had my own views, but I kept them to myself because, again, human is to error. There's this thing I like to say, and this is my own opinion. If you've never lost a loved one, don't ever speak. There's one individual who commented and was like, "Why are you guys naming ABCD? You guys are now taking this a notch higher, ABCD, ABCD." And I was like, I don't blame you. Until you lose something is when you know the value. But if you've not lost anything, you will never know the value. They were like, why are you dragging this person's name on the mud? But the only issue that I had with the person who presented this kind of evidence, it was not airtight evidence. It was not airtight, credible, tangible. Yes, there was some receipts, but it was not airtight. When you present your case, make sure it is airtight, sealed, so that there's no room for error. I saw some people blaming that it wasn't given enough airtime. Yeah, these are very vital issues. These are very vital because these are statistics that has been guaranteed. At least averagely 2 women die So someone else told me, make sure that your wife or your mom or your sister does not become part of that statistic. Can you imagine our neighbors down here, to our very own Samia Suluhu? Their numbers were high, but statistically they've brought it down to around 500 or so. Rwanda is around 300. So I was engaging with a few of my friends the other time, and they were saying that some countries have brought those numbers very, very low to an extent of maybe 100. How I'd wish and pray to God Almighty that this number were brought to less than 2 out of the 100,000. And speaking of yearly, not daily, yearly. If at least 2, because maybe of a few instances, and even bring it to 0. I had an engagement with someone who's back in some first world countries back in the north, and they were saying it's like, I think it's the 4th or the 5th year statistically there's been 0 deaths on maternal mortality. The graph is flat. Also, some areas are prone because maybe because of the volatile situation, the wars that are going on there, lack of proper education on how to go about while giving birth. Maybe they're in the rural areas. There's lack of transportation. There's lack of electricity. The list is endless. But for human error, we can try to avoid. I am a victim because I'm part of that statistic. I wouldn't want any other woman, sister, mother, wife, auntie to happen. I wouldn't want you, people of the internet, to become part of that statistic. So I will be doing another live video. I'll be engaging with a couple of like-minded people on how to go about this issue. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, kindly subscribe. You can watch the videos. You can give your likes. You can put on your comments. At least we learn through mistakes. I know the other party, they did their own share. They did their very best according to them. However, some people of the internet are feeling that it wasn't tackled very well. The person who was answering the question wasn't answering questions directly. Some even mentioned that the individual had anger issues management. I leave it up to you guys, people of the internet. You be the judge. Authenticity is the key. Such issues need to be tackled in very well. To some extent or to some degree, I even saw some other individuals mentioning another person who's also has a YouTube channel, that this particular individual should conduct this particular interview. For those who know her or him or them, just link us up to them. We've collected a few people. This thing must be addressed. I don't want someone that I know to become a statistic again. If you've never encountered that, people of the internet, if you've never taken anyone to a particular hospital, praying and knowing that you have faith in this particular facility, they'll come out with their bouncing baby boy, or they've just gone there for another different medication, and then you come out of that particular hospital or facility with that individual in a body bag, then you wouldn't know. You will resonate. You will know the kind of thoughts that run into people's brains. And if you know a friend of a friend, spread the word. Spread the word outside there. We must call out this particular facility. We must call out. I was shocked that even most of these individuals in this particular facility are not even qualified. Remember, when I started the video and mentioned that among us, the human errors, human negligence that happen is lack of proper, well-trained staff. There was a bit of confusion in that particular episode between an MO who is a medical officer, a specialist, and a CEO, a clinical officer. People of the internet, you be the judge. I'll let it to you. You be the judge. Because again, they say, if you don't talk about it, Who are we? You'll start talking about things that do not matter. Let us not politicize this. Let us not go out of our way and start putting receipts and funny theories. Let's just give it time. Let's call it out to our government. Let's call it out to the necessary bodies that deal with health matters. This needs to be... Imagine an average of 2 women die on a daily basis in Kenya. Because of maternal. These are not just... I'm not saying sickness or what. Maternal. 2. Do the math. Because averagely it was around 700 in a year out of 100,000 women. That number is so high. So people of the internet, thank you very much. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. You'll be enlightened. I'll see you out in the next one. Have yourself a blessed, wonderful afternoon.